Congrats on the film, The Lockdown. I really enjoyed it. And Michael, your character puts his own children in this wild prison fighting tournament so you can get released early. You're not really playing Dad of the Year, but it's still a very fun role. What did you like most about this character?
Well, like you said, it's I I have made a career playing antagonists, so I need to justify why I do what I do. And in my mind, I thought I'll get him in, but I'll get him out. And so for me, playing the character, I'm glad they got in, and I had a deal to get them out if they won the fights, and I thought that they were going to win the fights. So I just saw the movie my, uh, maybe a week ago or so with Caity and Leo, and I was really surprised at how good it looked. I thought everybody just did a wonderful job in it. I was really pleased with it. I just didn't think it would come out so well, but it really is very good. And I didn't know if the transition of my character from bringing his kids into prison and then turning around and kind of letting them go, if I really had enough space to do that. But it seemed to work. The whole show seemed to work very well. And the fighting stuff looks great. And I'm proud to be in it.
Yeah, everybody has a nice story arc in this film, and Katie, your time as White Canary really allowed you to flex your martial arts skills, but you're really going all out in the lockdown. What's most fulfilling about doing these types of martial arts heavy fights, where your background and you really get to show off your actual technique more in these fights?
It was pretty cool. Yeah, getting to do, I hadn't done a lot of Muay Thai, so training Muay Thai beforehand. And then once we got to Thailand, kind of getting in, we got there like 3 weeks early to get into boot camp and basically, learn all the fights. And I didn't have any experience doing ring fights, which was also really different because doing, fight choreography, it's way more like a dance. And in the ring fights, it was something different. And I feel like it's harder to get away with faking things. And the martial art, like the stunt people in Thailand, they're so badass. And like, I remember one of the guys was like, just really hit me. Like, just hit me. And I'm like, okay, are you sure? And in the ring, like, because you have gloves too, there's a little more room for stuff. And so you're really going at it. So it was cool. It was really fun. And, we never had any doubles, no wires, no, everything was just us. So that was fun. I'm like, I got a little spoiled on my last TV show, always having, the devil there in case you're like, I'm not just gonna be in my trailer, but not on this one. We were doing all of it. So that was a challenge and it was really fun.
Yeah, and you were up to that challenge, and I imagine that footwork's so important as you mentioned doing these stunts in the cage. And Leo, just how was that experience of doing these fights in the ring and getting into these real wild brawls throughout the movie?
Yeah, it's awesome. I've grown up doing martial arts and I've done a lot of different stuff where martial arts was a part of it, but I've never done anything in the ring. I like the ring because the floor is padded, which is nice. We're wearing gloves, so it doesn't hurt quite as much. I like both of those things, but also there's a lot less room for error in the ring. The way you have to shoot it is you see a lot more. You see the spaces, so you got to be a lot sharper. There's fights in the ring in this film, and then there's fights like sort of in the prison on concrete. Those were significantly less fun, I would say, to shoot. But all around, very proud of the fights in this film. I thought they came out excellent.
Yeah, they're all a real highlight. And Michael, you've had so many iconic roles in the past, and you've worked with Jim Cameron so wonderfully. But I think my favorite performance of yours with him is The Abyss. You're so you're so great at showing that kind of psychotic breaking of the character throughout that. And it's such a departure from what we saw with like Kyle Reese and Hicks previously. What did you like most about working with Jim on that specific character?
Well, by that time, Jim and I had done Terminator and Aliens, and so we knew each other very well. Jim had so much to do on that movie because we shot so much of it underwater, and he was working 18 hours a day, and you know, that opportunity I think was difficult for some people. I think Ed Harris and Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio found it difficult. I had a great time. I thought it was fun being underwater. Um, I I like playing the antagonists because you have to justify, and that character was one in which number one, he was cut off from his chain of command. So this is a guy who's used to taking orders. Number two, he had a woman in front of him telling him there were aliens near them, which Bud, that Ed Harris played, he didn't even quite believe her. So I'm thinking she's crazy. And then I have the underwater sickness thing going on. So that character is close to me because I've always kind of felt bad for him. I thought I was able to bring something to that character that Jim let me do, which makes you feel some empathy for a bad guy. And sometimes you don't want empathy for a bad guy. You just want a bad guy in and out from beginning to end. So, you know, that's kind of why I like playing Max in this piece is kind of redeemable. And anytime I can make a character who is the bad guy, either somewhat or halfway redeemable, it's a real pleasure for me. It's a lot of fun. It's more fun for me than not.
Yeah, you do a great job of making them three-dimensional. And Caity, my last question, I love the brother-sister relationship. How is it really getting that familiarity with Leo and being able to play off each other?
It was so fun. And, you know, we, like Michael was saying, we just got to watch the film and seeing that how the dynamic came out on screen. I was like, oh, actually, it's so cute. I feel like, because I started to feel like, I was like, Leo, you're my little brother. Like, come here, come here. And I feel like that dynamic really, you know, came off on camera, and I was happy to see that. And I thought it was really interesting too, that you could see the shift, you know, sometimes when my character's always kind of like the angry, tough, hard one, but then she'd have her moments and baby brother would step in. So, and like we were hanging out in Thailand for like, you know, a month before, training every day, and like it was fun. And I think it's so special to have some time before you start filming, like to really get to know each other makes such a huge difference when it comes to the chemistry on camera. Like you can fake it, yeah, but like when you actually like get to become friends and, you know, care about each other, it really does come off on screen.
Yeah, it definitely shows. Thank you guys so much for your time today and congrats on the lockdown. It really turned out great.
Thank you.
Thank you.